of the School City of East Chicago. I'd like to open the meeting with a roll call. Trustee Smith?
Present.
Trustee Gibson King?
Present.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Present.
Trustee Gomez is present. President Artiega will not be at the meeting tonight. I'll be running it in his stead. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I apologize, there were no agendas placed out in the lobby, but there's only one topic for this evening, and that's the topic that Attorney Harris will discuss. This is regarding the superintendent contract for the coming year and beyond. I would just like to say that as the contact for the board and BWP, we went through a very exhaustive search with a lot of transparency and involvement from the communities. We want to keep that going. And so in the spirit, while we're not necessarily required to do this, we are going to have a presentation by Attorney Harris on the superintendent contract. Attorney Harris?
All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. The superintendent contract that's on the agenda for tonight is for public comment, of course, today, and then also for publication purposes. So this agreement will be posted on the school's website, and there isn't any vote that's taking place today to approve it. It has to be advertised, and then at the next meeting, that's when it'll be up for adoption. So just wanted to briefly explain the process. But following the Superintendent Search Committee concluding their work, the next stage of the process is selection of a potential candidate and then the negotiation of a proposed contract. That has occurred, and what we have tonight is what we're presenting is an agreement for a new superintendent with a 3-year contract to begin on July 1 of 2024 and to go through June 30th of 2027. The negotiated rate of pay is an annual salary of $195,000 with 2.5% increases for each year of the contract. There are performance bonuses that are included in the contract. Those performance bonuses require certain milestones to be reached, and those are based on 3 basic criteria, and that's district enrollment increases of at least 10%, academic improvement in the areas of literacy, curriculum development, graduation rates, and the last category is teacher retention. So in the event that the superintendent excels in those areas, there will be bonuses triggered, and there's ranges for those bonuses. Those bonuses range from $0 to $5,000 in terms of district enrollment, $0 to $10,000 in terms of academic improvement, and $0 to $5,000 for teacher retention. Outside of that, there is a provision in the agreement that mirrors what is required under state law, and that is termination of this agreement can be for cause or without cause. If there's termination without cause, that means that the superintendent would be entitled to 1 year severance pay, and it would be capped at that. There wouldn't be any other amount. There wouldn't be a lawsuit or argument over what it would be. There'd be an amount specific to be paid for termination without cause. If there's termination with cause, then of course there wouldn't be any additional payments due from the district. There are benefits that are afforded to the new superintendent consistent with the benefits that are provided to other administrators within the district. And outside of that, the form of agreement is standard. There is a provision that's included here that does allow for the district to sit down with the superintendent before the termination of the contract to discuss a renewal of the contract, but it does not automatically renew. That would require further action of the board. And with that, if any board members have any questions or have any comments, I think now would be the time to do that, and then open it up for public comment.
Trustee Rodriguez, any comments?
No comment at this time?
Trustee Gibson King?
No, not at this time.
Trustee Smith?
Sorry, what was the question?
Do you have any questions or comments?
Yes, I do. I have some questions. This is not pertaining to the board, to this contract, but this is just a personal opinion. And I have that right to voice my opinion, and it's nothing against the superintendent in question, but this is just something that I have to clear this is something I have to let my community know. It takes endurance, time, energy, patience, and a lot of hard work and hard labor to rebuild a broken system or building, especially without a blueprint. Our district does not have a blueprint or a strategic plan in place, but a lot of progress has been accomplished without the proper tools in place. Progress has been made even if board members or the district refuse to see it. The past school years have shown us we can do it. Even though the past and present interim superintendent's hands were shackled by the board, educator leadership, principals, teachers, and some administrators have proven our children are worthy of a quality education. Here we go again, changing to the unknown, but not focusing on what we're looking at now. The success is right in our focus, but for whatever reason, the board continues to chase a pipe dream. Changing a new superintendent is not the answer. The success at this point, if it's the board wants to control the district, I suggest you go back to school, get your doctorates in front of your name, earn your degree, apply for your superintendent's license. If not, stay in your lane. And let the ones who have earned their degrees and experience do what they are trained to do and experiences that they have. If you have problems with the current interim superintendent, be a man or a woman to state why publicly. I did when things were getting out of control with the past superintendent. If not, let's hold up the ones that have helped make this village. Ms. Leslie Yanders, she has all the credentials needed and a team that will work. And a team that will work with wholeheartedly. New superintendent's entry plan is not going to work within 1 to 30 days. Our educated leaders have been working on our 2024 school year. And basically all I'm saying is, why change something that's working? And it's nothing against the new superintendent. I just feel that let's give where we have a chance. Voters, remember, the board will be changing after November 2024. And possibly with our board, we probably will end up with a new superintendent. Something to think about. Stop voting for name recognition and vote for those who you trust. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? The public? Please, yes, if you approach the podium and state your name and address.
Darlene Rosario Reese, 3731 Drummond Street. I am the current art teacher at Block Middle School. I must say that I am in agreement of what the board member has stated about Dr. Yanders. Not very many people come into Block Middle School, but when they do, I have to give kudos that Dr. Yanders has visited my room on more than one occasion and saw me teach and do what I do best and what God has given me the gift and the talent to do. She comes in quietly. She gives me feedback. She's not biased. I have asked many a people. I have done much for this district and nothing has been said. There are certain people who shall remain nameless that is in this room to this day, that has come to my room and my building, and they support me. There are certain board members that have come and see what my students have done for this district, and I thank them. But Dr. Yanders, behind the scenes, is doing incredible and an enormous amount of work in this district. And if you all were at Central on a daily basis to see what she is doing with that enrichment program, it's crazy. It's off the charts what you have to deal with elementary, middle, and high school being in one building. It is ludicrous, and yet she keeps all things decently and in order. Period, as the teens will say. I say, for real, period. I say we use what we have. This woman has left our district. She has applied and returned. I don't know how many times. That's like spitting in somebody's face, and then you come back and say, hey, I'm sorry, but you still spit in somebody's face. That is just so wrong and unprofessional. I don't know how many people would have done it, but she has shown herself diligently and approved to do what she does best. I say we give this woman a chance. I'm not saying there are certain people who have left nasty taste in your mouth, I'm sure. But she is not that person, and I say give her a chance.
Thank you.
Good
Just
evening.
let me reset my clock, I'm sorry. Thank you. You go.
So that, I have questions. Are you, you're, the attorney will be,
Yeah,
in
we're-
regards to the contract?
So we're not answering questions tonight during the public hearing, but I'll take your questions down and then get you responses.
Okay. So to begin with, I wanted to say, one of the things that was said is that the liaison made sure there was a lot of transparency. We were criticized by one of your board members for the last time we had this process happen, and specifically, she stated that there was no transparency. They tried to break into the rooms where we had the old superintendents there to meet. So I think now everyone's wondering, well, who are the last two? Who were the last two? I think overall, the last time we had the process, everyone knew who the last two were, not based off of your contract, who he is. So with that said, in regards to your contract, the first question I have, and I could send this over to you if you'd like, which I don't think it'll change because obviously you talked to the he and you guys already discussed this. First one being, the superintendent, for paragraph 1, superintendent shall meet and confer by June 30th of the preceding year before the contract is set to expire to discuss the extension of the contract. So this is not reoccurring like the evergreen clause, but when the new board comes in, if they don't receive the contract, this extension could happen after year 2. So, and I say this because when I first became a board member, no one gave me the contract. I had to go ask for it. With that being said, that could happen again, and this, whoever this new he is, will automatically go on another year after year 2. So this should not be in here, just in case people don't have the contract. So that's number 1. Number 2, the paragraph 3, it says corporations shall pay the superintendent an annual base salary, and then of $195,000. The annual base salary paid to the superintendent shall increase annually at the rate of 2.5% each year. Now, what makes that person better than any teacher? You guys did not approve it took 2 meetings for the administrators to get their percentage raise. So with that, I don't understand why you were put it in a contract. Because of the fact that you might be in financial problems in the future, at year 3, already you have that they're going to receive 2.5, plus I haven't even got to the backside of the annual stipend that you're going to give them. So, again, I'm not sure why you automatically increase. I think there has to be criteria for that person to increase. Again, that's my opinion. With that being said, if you look at your timeline, about evaluations, because they're supposed to get an evaluation, yet you also have that they might receive their extension by June 30th, the timelines do not match when it comes to your reevaluation date of August 15th, but yet June 30th, they're already having an extension of a contract. So if I haven't even gotten my evaluation, but we're going to give them a contract because we didn't do the evaluation, I don't know if that doesn't align.
If I may, you've exceeded 3 minutes. Can I have you just direct those questions to Attorney Harris on the
Sure.
board? I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
I'll just give them my questions.
Next, please.
Hello, Diana Darden, 7415 William Street, Maryville, Indiana. I just wanted to echo what Trustee Smith said, as well as Darlene, I'm sorry, Ms. Reese. But I just wanted to give my opinion. I think we are doing a disservice to the district by looking over Dr. Leslie Yanders. She could have really walked away and never looked back, but she chose to continue to come back and pour in. And it was something that came in my spirit today before I came. When you go to a restaurant and you order food, which, you're paying the bill. So, which the community is paying the bill to pay BWP to find a superintendent. They took us to the table at a restaurant at the library, and we sat down. We told them what we wanted off the menu. We said what we wanted in the superintendent. And you guys agreed with us, like, hey, this we want your input. That's why all of us were picked, or the people came out, they cared. Let's say that. We put down what we wanted, but now, possibly, the waiter is about to bring out something we didn't order. And we supposed to just eat that? The taxpayers are supposed to just eat that, and they gotta pay for it. My thing is, let's just give her a chance. She's already, like she said a couple meetings ago, I've been dotting the I's, I've been crossing the T's. Things have been going in a good direction. Is every superintendent gonna be perfect? No. Is anybody everybody gonna have their flaws? But she has been here, she has turned around Block School. She is a pillar in the community. Everybody know her, you guys know her. So I mean, it's a working relationship. Rather than bring somebody else in, we possibly have to either pay them out or they don't understand. And then you possibly gonna lose teachers and administrators, because now it's looking as if we are not a stable district. And they don't know what they're gaining by bringing in another person when you have somebody that's been dealing with them every day. So to keep the morale, not only within the district, but then the community, I just want to just get my voice and just say that please reconsider, please reconsider, and make Dr. Leslie Yanders the superintendent. Thank you.
Stacy Winfield, 4106 Dearborn. I'm going to applaud the trustee. I'm not going to call names because I know better. But I applaud you, trustee, for speaking out. Because it's okay to disagree to agree, but you got to stand tall at what you believe in. I watch the Hammond School Board meetings all the time. There's one particular lady that stands up for her district, and it needs to be here because it's not. Now, when you talked about the contract, I listened to the amount, but I didn't hear nothing about moving expenses if they have to move here, vehicle maintenance I know that's part of that contract, but that wasn't brought up. That's more than what you said that it would be. You didn't say it was included, so I'm concerned. Now I want to talk about Dr., not Mrs., Dr. Y. I'm not going to call her name because I know better. I was here when she was working at Block and walking the students halfway home. I was here when everyone but one board member that's there now, she came in front and she applied for the superintendent's position. She was asked to apply for that position, and she was turned down. She applied again. She's a pillar in the community. She represents this district well. And two trustees on this board, when we were back in there, I questioned the superintendent, and I said, who makes you look good? Because you do all the work. You say you do the work, but your secretary make you look good. If she not doing everything, and you all may remember this conversation. Everything that comes out comes from your secretary, but she don't get the credit. And I seen several statements where Dr. Y came up in here and explained everything that was going on in our district. Now, I'm a little disturbed because I see empty seats up here that should be sitting up here. Everybody in the city know what's going on with one, but it's not mentioned. How do I feel? Shame, shame, shame. Secrets are no secrets in East Chicago. Let's do the right thing and give this young lady a chance. This is the second time she's coming in front of us. I was at the meeting when they wanted to take our input, the community input. It's not considered. I say shame on you because you all brought that to us. And we expressed how we feel, and I feel that we've been slighted and ignored. Dr. Y, it ain't over. The sad part, somebody from another district will grab her and move on forward, and then we'll be looking down with our heads down because the next superintendent may not stay. Get paid so they can get paid, bought out, because they know that's what goes on in East Chicago. We have been known for paying superintendents off. Thank you, trustee, for speaking up. It's nothing wrong with disagreeing to agree. Stand tall, continue to stand tall, because you got it all. Thank you.
Good evening, Mercedes Taylor, 4320 Parish Avenue. Just echoing what everyone else just said so far. We'll start off with a couple questions, then I'll make my statement. So in addition to, as you were explaining the contract, actually, she had some of the same questions I had, but just to understand about the superintendent meeting the criteria for those bonuses, is it I think it needs to be spelled out a little better. Do they have to meet each and every one, or is it a combination of all three milestones, such as academic improvement, district enrollment increase, and teacher retention? And what does that look like? It's not spelled out. Is it a combination? They have to meet each one to get that bonus. Also, the relocation fee, that was not mentioned, but I think it was a $5,000 relocation fee or stipend, with an additional $3,000 temporary housing. What's temporary? That needs to be spelled out as well. And also a question, how long does the contract have to be posted before you vote on it? To my statement, you know, as a board, you have one job, and that is to hire a qualified superintendent. That's the only job you had. You had to pay $20,000 out of operations to do that job for you. You have the candidate right in front of you. Thank you, trustee, for sharing your heart. That's all of our sentiments. It's right in our face. We seem to never be able to see the qualified when it's right in our face. And that's very disheartening. It's not giving her a chance. It's validating her. Put some respect on the work that she has done. The fruit of her labor needs to be rewarded. How much more does she have to, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. So we could either make the right decision voluntarily, or we can make the decision involuntarily come November.
Good evening, Bonita White Arnold, 4821 Drummond, East Chicago. You know, a lot of times when something is going on, we'll say, well, what happened? It's his side, her side, and then it's the truth. But everybody tonight is coming up here saying the same story. No one is validating a new person to be superintendent. Think about that. Think about that. Nobody is, who have you talked to? What was the public focus about? Why did you take my time out of my day to come to them twice? I came twice to the focus groups. I don't hear anybody fighting for anybody else. Shame. Thank you, Diane. I ain't following protocol because you guys don't follow protocol. So thank you, Diane, for standing up. We had a graduation. The last board meeting, we said kudos to the kids. They did so well. da-da-da-da-da-da. You tell them, go out there and be successful, do something, make something of yourself. Leslie did it. Leslie did it. And the thing about it, she worked for children. She was my son, who was a school teacher in Hammond, his principal. And I would come up there to the school because I do programs. I was doing the prom dresses, giving away for the kids. I see Leslie walking in the halls. So I don't have any kids in East Chicago, so I can't testify to that. But I can testify to Hammond High at the time, which she did, when my son was there. I can testify how she said, hey, she told my son, get it together. And she told the mama, which is me. I talked to Travis. I told him to get it together. He on blast. That's okay. That's okay. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. You know, I told you once before about church. You know, at the end of the service, the pastor always say, if our hearts and minds are clear, we can leave. They ask that question. Ask yourself that question. Are our hearts and minds clear? Are yours clear? Because we need to have a person who we want to back, not who you want to back. You want us to come up here and support someone that you pick. Well, we got somebody that we want. Try the people for a change. You know, we have to vote. Yeah, but you know, I don't like to use that as a threat. Just do the right, I almost slipped too. Just do the right thing. That's all it takes. And I know your hearts individually are right. Don't be subjected to another person's agenda. Leslie Yanders, Dr. Leslie Yanders, she's done what the education system asks the kids to do. She's back here again and again. Come on. Yeah, take that offer off the table. Let them know. We reconsider. They do it all the time. You spent $20,000, give them some money for their time because we didn't get nothing for our time coming out to talk to those people. Thank you.
Helen Steinbach, 5207 East 73rd Avenue. I didn't get a chance to look at the contract because it wasn't posted until 3 o'clock-ish, because I think I looked at my computer before then, but I'm a little confused on why it wasn't posted earlier. I have a concern from the input that I've gotten from some people that have a copy of it. We're giving an automatic 2.5% increase. What if we don't have the money to do that? What if we're not in the black anymore, like we are right now, because we have a fantastic CFO that keeps us that way? And the person that's been in charge for the last year has made sure that we have additional resources coming in. And then bonuses for teacher retention. Okay. Did you ask for help with how that's worded, or what does teacher retention look like? Does the teachers union have any input in that matter? Did you ask us? I'm concerned that we're giving money somebody automatically because of the way it's written in that contract, but then I still have to negotiate for the teachers that are the ones that are doing the work so that that person that you might be hiring looks good. So think about what all our citizens have said, and think about the job that the person that's sitting in this room right now has already done, and maybe give her a chance like you should have given her a chance 2 years ago when you hired that other guy that didn't know what he was doing.
Kelly Williams, 4718 Magoon Avenue, East Chicago, Indiana. The Bible says, prophet is without honor in their own home. I'm here in a familiar position because one of the things that's bothered me so much about our city is that we always look outside for somebody to come in and save us, when everything we have is right here. I sat in the seat before. I understand where you all are at, because I sat in the same seat on the library board, and we had an exiting out director at the library. And our board was going back and forth about a search, and we were going to do Zoom meetings with people from Indianapolis and this and that. And I asked them a question. I said, I think sometimes we make things hard that are simple. I said, here's somebody in our library that's done everything that we asked them to do to qualify for this position. Why not make the investment in our own? And we hired her. We brought her on. And she's doing a great job, an excellent job. That library is running better than it has in a long time. It's engaged in the community, involved in the community. And I think a lot of times we look over people, and it's a bad mistake. I'm here to petition you. I'm not trying to be subjective. I want you to try to be objective. My dad taught me something a long time ago. I tried to take a shortcut cutting the grass. And he took me out to the yard, and he showed me what making shortcuts is. And I never forgot what he told me. He said, son, there is no substitute for doing the right thing. Like, we got to really look in our hearts. If we have somebody in it, what's the rush? What's the rush? Two people I know do not handle change well. Some of us, the caretakers, we know, seniors. They don't you start moving their stuff, changing their stuff, they can't handle it. And young people, we keep making these changes, this musical chairs with leadership, it leaks down into the schools. It's the reason why. Let's take our time. She just said that the makeup of our board might be changing soon. Why not take that time, that 6 months time, to do a quality investment of our school? Then the final thing is, what man builds a house without counting up the costs? Like, who does that? Who throws all their chips in somebody's hand and says, okay, save us, and you got no blueprint, no plan to say, okay, we want the roof to look like this. There's no plan in place that I've seen. Why not take the next 6 months and put a strategic plan in, and then bring people in that can say, can you build this for us? That's the only thing I'm offering to you all. Please, take your time. Don't rush to go put somebody in a position when you can keep it in-house, because the ship seems like it's headed in the right direction.
Donna Ivy, 4124 Elm Street. I believe it's essential for our community to thrive that we select someone that's familiar and can relate to the people within our village. In order for the children to thrive and realize their potential, we should not have to leave our community to be validated. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
There's a motion to adjourn by Trustee Rodriguez. I'll second. Roll call, Trustee Smith? Trustee Gibson King?
Yes.
Trustee Rodriguez?
Yes.
Trustee Gomez is a yes. That concludes tonight's meeting. Thank you all for coming.